First contact. The vast expanse of space had long been a realm of mystery and wonder for the Galactic Federation. For millennia, they had explored, cataloged, and connected with countless alien civilizations across the cosmos. Yet nothing could have prepared them for the day they stumbled upon Earth. Admiral Zix Terra of the Arcturian Exploration Fleet stood on the bridge of her flagship, the Stellar Seeker, her 4 eyes blinking in rapid succession as she processed the data streaming across the holographic displays. The small blue-green planet before them was teeming with life, but it was the artificial satellites and space debris orbiting the world that caught her attention. "Incredible," she whispered, her tentacles rippling with excitement. "A nascent spacefaring civilization, right under our sensors all this time." Her second-in-command, a towering Cronin named Grohl, lumbered to her side. His rocky skin grated softly as he moved. "Admiral, our initial scans indicate a technological level far beyond what we'd expect from such a young species. They've already achieved rudimentary space travel and global communication networks." Zix Terra's antenna twitched, a sign of her growing curiosity. "How long have they been at this level of development, Grohl?" The crewman's crystalline eyes flickered as he consulted the ship's eye. "According to our analysis of their orbital debris and planetary emissions, approximately 100 standard galactic years." The bridge fell silent. Even the ship's ambient hum seemed to quiet in response to this revelation. "Impossible," Zix Terra breathed. "No species advances that quickly." "Are you certain?" Grohl nodded, his crystalline structure catching the light of nearby stars. "The data is conclusive, Admiral. These humans, as they call themselves, have gone from primitive combustion engines to space exploration in less than a century." The Admiral's mind raced. In the annals of Galactic Federation history, no species had ever shown such rapid technological growth. Most took thousands of years to reach this stage, carefully guided by the watchful eye of the Federation. But these humans had done it alone, and at a pace that defied comprehension. "We need to make contact," Zix Terra decided, her voice filled with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. "Prepare a first contact team. We'll follow Protocol 7B for emerging civilizations." As the crew bustled into action, a young Corlian scientist named Ika approached the Admiral, her bioluminescent skin pulsing with nervous energy. "Admiral, if I may, I've been analyzing their communication broadcasts. These humans, they're different." Zix Terra turned her attention to the young scientist. "Different how, Ika?" Ika's tendrils writhed as she struggled to find the right words. "They're so diverse. Their planet hosts thousands of cultures, languages, and belief systems. And yet, somehow, they've managed to cooperate enough to reach the stars. It's chaotic, but beautiful." The Admiral pondered this information. Most species that achieved spaceflight did so under a unified global government. The idea of a fragmented world reaching for the stars was almost unheard of. "Show me," Zix Terra commanded. Ika waved her tendrils, and the holographic display came to life with a kaleidoscope of human achievements. Art, music, literature, and scientific breakthroughs from countless cultures flashed before their eyes. The crew watched in awe as they witnessed the construction of massive structures, the exploration of their own world's deepest oceans, and the first tentative steps on their moon. "By the cosmic core," Grohl rumbled, his usually stoic demeanor cracking with wonder. "They accomplished all this while still divided. Imagine what they could do united." Zix Terra felt a shiver run through her body, a mix of excitement and trepidation. These humans were an anomaly, a species that had broken every rule the Galactic Federation had come to accept as universal truths about civilization development. "We must approach this with caution," she announced to her crew. "These humans have shown remarkable potential, but with such rapid growth comes great responsibility. We need to assess whether they're ready for the knowledge of the greater galaxy." As the Stellar Seeker moved into a higher orbit around Earth, preparing for first contact, Admiral Zixtera couldn't shake the feeling that this discovery would change the course of galactic history. The humans, in their brief time reaching for the stars, had already demonstrated a tenacity and innovative spirit that both thrilled and terrified her. "Send the signal," she commanded. "Let's introduce ourselves to humanity." The message was simple, broadcast on all frequencies in every language they had decoded from Earth's transmissions. "People of Earth, you are not alone. We come in peace and friendship. Prepare yourselves for a new era of galactic cooperation." As the signal traversed the void between the stellar seeker and Earth, Zixtera watched the blue planet spin slowly beneath them. In her long career exploring the cosmos, she had never felt such a mix of hope and apprehension. These humans, barely out of their planetary cradle, were about to take their first steps onto the galactic stage. The response came faster than anyone had anticipated. A cacophony of signals burst from the planet, a mix of official government responses, civilian chatter, and media broadcasts. The ship's AI worked overtime to translate and categorize the influx of information. There, excited, Ika reported, her bioluminescence flickering rapidly. And afraid. And curious. Sometimes all at once. How do they manage such conflicting emotions? Gruel let out a low, rumbling laugh. "Perhaps that's their secret, young one. Their ability to feel so deeply and so diversely might be the very thing that drives them forward at such an astounding pace." Admiral Zixtera listened to the human responses, marveling at their range and intensity. In all her years of first contact scenarios, she had never encountered a species so openly passionate, so unabashedly emotional in their reactions. "Prepare the shuttle," she ordered, straightening her posture. "It's time we met these humans face to face. May the cosmic core grant us wisdom in these unprecedented times." As the crew rushed to comply, Zixtera took one last look at the swirling blue world below. In her heart, she knew that the galaxy would never be the same after today. The age of humanity had begun, and for better or worse, the universe would have to adapt to their presence. The first step towards a new galactic era was about to be taken, and Admiral Zixtera of the Arcturian Exploration Fleet would be the one to make it. As she boarded the shuttle, she couldn't help but wonder. If humans had achieved so much in so little time, what wonders, or horrors, might they bring to the galactic community in the centuries to come? Only time would tell, and for once in her long life, Zixtera found herself excited by the uncertainty of it all. The challenge. The glittering spires of New Geneva stretched towards the sky, a testament to humanity's resilience and ingenuity. It had been 5 years since first contact, and the world had changed in ways few could have imagined. The United Earth Council chamber buzzed with anticipation as delegates from every nation awaited the arrival of the Galactic Federation representatives. Dr. Amelia Chen, Earth's chief diplomat to the stars, stood at the podium, her eyes fixed on the ornate doors at the far end of the chamber. At 35, she was young for such a crucial role, but her brilliance and adaptability had made her the natural choice to represent humanity in this new era. The doors swung open, and a hush fell over the assembly. Admiral Zixtera glided into the room, her 4 eyes scanning the gathered humans with a mix of curiosity and apprehension. Behind her came Grohl, his crystalline form catching the light, and Ika, whose bioluminescent skin pulsed with excitement. "Representatives of Earth," Zixtera began, her voice translated smoothly by the advanced comm units, "we come before you today with news that will shape the future of your species." Amelia felt a flutter of nervousness in her stomach. Despite years of interaction, the aliens still had the power to awe her. "We welcome you, friends from the stars. What news do you bring?" Zixtera's tentacles rippled, a gesture Amelia had learned to associate with both excitement and concern. "The Galactic Federation has been observing your progress closely. Your adaptability and rate of advancement are unprecedented. It is time for humanity to face the challenge." A murmur rippled through the chamber. The challenge had been mentioned before, always in hushed tones, as a rite of passage for new species joining the galactic community. Grull stepped forward, his deep voice resonating through the chamber. For millennia, species seeking to join the Federation have undergone a series of tests to prove their worth. These trials assess not just technological prowess, but wisdom, empathy, and the ability to cooperate on a cosmic scale. Ika, her skin flickering with rapid pulses of light, added, "But never in our history has a species been invited to attempt the challenge so soon after achieving spaceflight. Your people are unique." Amelia straightened her posture, feeling the weight of humanity's future on her shoulders. "We are honored by the invitation. What does this challenge entail?" Zixterra waved a tentacle, and a holographic display sprang to life in the center of the chamber. It showed a series of space stations orbiting a distant, red dwarf star. "The Trials of Ascension," she explained. 5 tests, each designed to push your species to its limits. Technological innovation, ethical decision-making, interspecies cooperation, resource management, and finally, a test of your species' fundamental nature. The chamber erupted in excited chatter. Amelia raised a hand, silencing the crowd. "And if we succeed?" Grull's crystalline eyes seemed to sparkle. "Then humanity will be welcomed as full members of the Galactic Federation, with all the rights, responsibilities, and knowledge that entails." "And if we fail?" Amelia pressed, knowing the question on everyone's mind. Zixterra's 4 eyes blinked in unison. "Failure is rare. But those who do not pass the challenge are deemed unready. They are sequestered, their stellar expansion limited until they evolve further." A tense silence fell over the chamber. The stakes were clear. Succeed and reach for the stars, or fail and be confined to their cosmic backyard. Amelia took a deep breath. "We accept the challenge." The next few months were a whirlwind of preparation. The best and brightest from every corner of the globe were recruited for the mission. Space agencies worldwide collaborated on a scale never before seen, pooling resources and knowledge to prepare humanity's champions. The chosen team was as diverse as humanity itself. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, a brilliant quantum physicist from Japan. Captain Maria Rodrigues, a veteran astronaut from Brazil with nerves of steel. Dr. Kwame Osai, a Ghanaian xenobiologist whose theories on alien life had revolutionized the field. Zara Al-Farsi, an Omani AI specialist whose work on ethical machine learning had caught the attention of the Galactic Federation itself. And rounding out the core team, Ivan Petrov, a Russian diplomat known for his unorthodox but effective negotiation tactics. As the day of departure approached, Amelia found herself in the observation deck of the newly christened Starship Hope, Earth's most advanced vessel, built with a combination of human ingenuity and carefully shared alien technology. Nervous, a voice asked from behind her. She turned to see Admiral Zixterra, the alien's form silhouetted against the stars. Amelia nodded, allowing herself a moment of vulnerability. Terrified, actually. The fate of our species rests on this mission. Zixterra moved to stand beside her, both of them gazing out at the blue marble of Earth below. "If it's any consolation, many in the Federation are rooting for your success. Your species has impressed us. But not everyone feels that way, do they?" Amelia asked, catching the slight hesitation in the Admiral's voice. Zixterra's tentacles writhed in what Amelia had come to recognize as discomfort. "There are concerns. Your rapid advancement, while remarkable, has led some to question whether humanity is truly ready for the power and responsibility that comes with Federation membership." Amelia turned to face the alien diplomat fully. "And what do you think, Admiral?" For a long moment, Zixterra was silent, her 4 eyes blinking in that unsettling, asynchronous way. Finally, she spoke. "I think that humanity has the potential to either elevate the galaxy to new heights or plunge it into chaos. The challenge will reveal which path you are destined for." Before Amelia could respond, the ship's intercom crackled to life. "All personnel, prepare for departure." Launch sequence initiating in T-minus 30 minutes. Zixtera placed a tentacle gently on Amelia's shoulder, a gesture she had adopted from humans. Remember, Dr. Chen, the trials ahead will test more than just your technology or your intelligence. They will probe the very essence of what it means to be human. Stay true to that essence, whatever it may be. With those cryptic words, the Admiral glided away, leaving Amelia alone with her thoughts and the weight of humanity's future. As the countdown to launch began, Amelia joined the rest of the crew on the bridge. Captain Rodriguez sat at the helm, her hands dancing over the controls with practiced ease. The rest of the team was strapped into their stations, a mix of excitement and apprehension on their faces. "Well, folks," Amelia said, taking her seat, "we're about to make history. Again. Let's show the galaxy what humanity is made of." The engines roared to life, and the Hope lifted off, carrying with it the dreams and aspirations of an entire planet. As Earth shrank to a blue dot in the view screen, Amelia couldn't help but wonder what challenges awaited them in the depths of space, and would humanity's unique blend of innovation, empathy, and sheer determination be enough to overcome them? The trials of ascension loomed ahead, and the true test of humanity's place in the cosmos was about to begin. Unexpected allies. The Hope drifted silently through the void, its sleek hull gleaming in the light of unfamiliar stars. 3 months had passed since their departure from Earth, and the crew had settled into an uneasy routine. They were nearing the site of the first trial, a massive space station orbiting a gas giant in a system known only as XJ-17. Dr. Amelia Chen stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the swirling storms of the planet below. The gas giant's vibrant purple hues were unlike anything she'd seen in their home system, a constant reminder of how far they'd come. "Incoming transmission from the station," announced Zara Al-Farsi, her fingers dancing over the holographic interface. "They're welcoming us." Captain Maria Rodriguez frowned. "That's unexpected. I thought these trials were supposed to be challenges, not meet and greets." The main view screen flickered to life, revealing a being unlike any they'd encountered before. It appeared to be a mass of shimmering energy, vaguely humanoid in shape, but constantly shifting and pulsing. "Greetings, children of Earth." The being's voice resonated through the ship's speakers, somehow conveying warmth despite its alien nature. "I am Zephyr, overseer of the first trial. We've been eagerly awaiting your arrival." Amelia stepped forward, her diplomatic training kicking in. "We're honored to be here, Zephyr. We're ready to face whatever challenge you have prepared for us." The energy being seemed to ripple with amusement. "Ah, the enthusiasm of youth. But before we begin, there are others you should meet. You're not the only ones facing the trials today." The view screen split, revealing 2 other ships approaching the station. One was sleek and organic looking, almost like a living creature. The other was angular and utilitarian, bristling with sensors and antennae. "Allow me to introduce the Florians of Verdant Prime and the synthetics of Nexus Core," Zephyr announced. "Like you, they are young races, invited to prove their worth to the Galactic Federation." Amelia exchanged glances with her crew. This was unexpected. They had prepared to face the trials alone, not as part of a group. "The first trial," Zephyr continued, "is one of cooperation. You will work together to solve a crisis that threatens this entire star system. Your success, or failure, will be judged as one." The energy being paused, allowing the weight of its words to sink in. "Dock with the station. You have 1 hour to meet your fellow aspirants before the trial begins. Choose wisely how you use this time." As the transmission ended, the bridge erupted into a flurry of activity. Dr. Kwame Osei, the xenobiologist, was practically bouncing with excitement. "This is unprecedented. A chance to study 2 completely new species up close." Ivan Petrov, the diplomat, looked less enthused. "It's also a complication. We have no idea about their capabilities, their cultural norms, or their motivations. This could be a disaster." Amelia raised her hand, silencing the chatter. It's a challenge, yes, but also an opportunity. If we're to join the Galactic Federation, we need to prove we can work with diverse species. This is our chance. As the Hope docked with the station, Amelia couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. They had prepared for technical challenges, ethical dilemmas, even combat scenarios. But this was diplomacy on a cosmic scale. The airlock hissed open, revealing a vast, circular chamber. The walls seemed to be made of the same shifting energy as Zephyr, pulsing with soft light. In the center stood two groups of beings, as alien to each other as they were to the humans. The Florians were plant-like creatures, their bodies a tangle of vines and leaves topped with flower-like sensory organs. They swayed gently, as if caught in a breeze only they could feel. The synthetics, true to their name, were clearly artificial beings. Their bodies were a mix of sleek metal and pulsing circuitry, with glowing photoreceptors that tracked the movements of everyone in the room. As the human team entered, all eyes, or their equivalent, turned to them. The tension in the air was palpable. Amelia took a deep breath and stepped forward. "Greetings," she said, hoping the universal translators were working. "I'm Dr. Amelia Chen of Earth. We're honored to meet you and to face this challenge together." One of the Florians extended a vine-like appendage. When it spoke, its voice was like rustling leaves. "We are Bloom Collective of Verdant Prime. We too seek to prove our worth to the greater galaxy." A synthetic stepped forward, its movements precise and fluid. "Nexus 7 of Core Prime. Our matrices calculate a 43.7% higher chance of success through cooperation." Ivan leaned in close to Amelia, whispering, "Well, they seem friendly enough, but can we trust them?" Before Amelia could respond, the chamber hummed to life. Zephyr's energy form coalesced in the center of the room. "The hour of preparation is over," the being announced. "Now you face your first trial. A solar flare from this system's star threatens to destabilize the gas giant's magnetosphere. If left unchecked, the resulting storms will tear this station apart and render this entire system uninhabitable." Holographic displays sprang to life around them, showing the approaching solar flare and its projected impact. "You have 12 hours, Zephyr continued. "Use the station's resources and your combined knowledge to avert this crisis. But be warned, the solution is not purely technical. You must also consider the ethical implications of your actions and their long-term consequences for this star system." With that, Zephyr's form dissipated, leaving the three species alone to face the impending disaster. For a moment, nobody moved. Then, almost in unison, they sprang into action. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the quantum physicist, was already poring over the station's sensor data. "The flare's magnitude is off the charts," she muttered. "We'd need a magnetosphere the size of a small moon to deflect it." One of the Florians, its petals quivering with what might have been excitement, chimed in. "Our species has extensive experience in manipulating magnetic fields for our solar orchards. Perhaps we could adapt that technology." A synthetic's eyes flickered rapidly. "Affirmative. Combining Florian field manipulation with our quantum computational models could yield a viable solution. Human creativity may provide the interface needed to implement on this scale." Amelia watched in amazement as the three species began to work together, each contributing their unique strengths. The Florians' intuitive understanding of natural systems complemented the synthetic's raw computational power, while human ingenuity and out-of-the-box thinking tied it all together. But as they delved deeper into the problem, ethical concerns began to surface. The most effective solution would involve permanently altering the gas giant's atmosphere, potentially affecting any undiscovered life in its upper layers. "We cannot proceed without considering the ecological impact," a Florian insisted, its vines curling in distress. Nexus 7's lights pulsed rapidly. "The probability of sentient life existing in those conditions is negligible. The needs of confirmed sapient beings must take priority." The debate raged on, with humans often finding themselves in the middle, balancing the Florians' reverence for all life against the synthetics' cold logic. As the clock ticked down, Amelia realized that this was the true test. Not just solving the technical problem, but finding a way to bridge the vast differences in perspective and ethics between three young, ambitious species. With less than an hour to go, a compromise was reached. They would create a temporary magnetic shield, buying time to study the gas giant's atmosphere for signs of life before implementing a permanent solution. As the combined fleet of ships moved into position, their technology merging in ways never before seen, Amelia felt a swell of pride. This, she realized, was what it meant to be part of a galactic community. The solar flare hit, its power overwhelming. For a terrifying moment, it seemed their efforts would be in vain. But then, miraculously, the shield held, the station was saved, and with it, the entire star system. As cheers and the Florian equivalent of applause filled the chamber, Zephyr reappeared, its energy form pulsing with what seemed to be approval. "Well done, young ones," the being said. "You have passed the first trial, not just in averting disaster, but in proving you can work together despite your differences. Remember this unity as you face the challenges ahead." As the glow of success washed over them, Amelia couldn't help but smile. They had passed the first test, yes, but more importantly, they had made allies. In the vastness of space, facing unknown trials, these newfound friends might just be the key to humanity's future among the stars. The journey was far from over, but for the first time since leaving Earth, Amelia felt truly hopeful. Whatever the galaxy had in store for them, they would face it together. The ancient threat. The hope glided through the shimmering expanse of a nebula, its hull reflecting the swirling colors of newborn stars. 3 months had passed since the first trial, and the human crew, along with their Florian and synthetic allies, had faced and overcome 2 more challenges. They had navigated ethical dilemmas that tested their values, solved technological puzzles that pushed the boundaries of their understanding, and even faced simulated combat scenarios that required split-second decision-making. Dr. Amelia Chen stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the mesmerizing view outside. The team had grown closer through their shared trials, forming bonds that transcended their biological differences. Bloom Collective, the Florian representative, had taken to growing small gardens throughout the Hope, filling the ship with the sweet scent of alien flowers. Nexus 7, the synthetic, had integrated seamlessly with the ship's systems, enhancing their capabilities far beyond their original specs. "Incoming transmission," Zara announced, her voice tinged with surprise. It's from Earth." Amelia's heart raced. They weren't due for another check-in for weeks. "Put it through." The main view screen flickered to life, revealing the worried face of Admiral Zixtera. The usually composed Arcturian looked uncharacteristically agitated, her tentacles writhing in clear distress. "Dr. Chen," Zixtera began, her voice urgent, "we need you to abort the trials and return to Earth immediately." Something has awakened. A chill ran down Amelia's spine. "Awakened? What do you mean, Admiral?" Zixtera's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. "An ancient threat, one we thought was merely a legend. The Void Heralds have returned." The bridge fell silent. Even the Florians and synthetics, who had been observing the exchange, seemed to sense the gravity of the situation. "I don't understand," Amelia said, struggling to process the information. "Who are the Void Heralds?" Zixtera's image was replaced by a series of holographic displays showing massive otherworldly structures emerging from dark rifts in space. They are a race so old they predate the Galactic Federation itself. Beings of pure energy that feed on the life force of entire planets. Millennia ago, they nearly wiped out all sentient life in the galaxy before they were defeated and sealed away. But now they're free again. Captain Rodriguez leaned forward, her face grim. "Why call us back?" Surely the Federation's more advanced species are better equipped to handle this threat. Zixtera's image reappeared, her expression a mix of hope and desperation. That's just it. Our most powerful weapons, our most advanced shields, they're useless against the Void Heralds. We need new perspectives, fresh ideas. We need the ingenuity and adaptability that only young races like yours have demonstrated. The implications hit Amelia like a physical blow. The fate of the galaxy now rested on the shoulders of the very species they had been testing. The irony was not lost on her. "We're on our way, Admiral," Amelia said, her voice firm despite the fear churning in her gut. "And we're bringing friends." As the transmission ended, the bridge erupted into a flurry of activity. Captain Rodriguez began plotting the fastest course back to Earth, while Dr. Tanaka and Zara worked with Nexus 7 to enhance the Hope's engines for the journey. Bloom Collective's pedals quivered with what Amelia had learned to recognize as determination. "The Florian Concordat stands with Earth. Our ship will accompany you." Nexus 7's lights pulsed in agreement. "The Synthetic Collective calculates a 22% higher chance of survival if we combine our resources. We will join you as well." As they prepared for the long journey home, Amelia couldn't shake the feeling that this was the real test, not the carefully constructed trials they had faced, but a true, universe-altering crisis. The trip back to Earth was tense, filled with strategy sessions and desperate attempts to understand their enigmatic enemy. They pored over ancient texts and fragmented records, trying to glean any information that might give them an edge. Dr. Osi, working closely with Bloom Collective, made a breakthrough. "The Void Heralds," he explained during one of their briefings, "they don't just feed on life. They feed on potential, on the energy of growth and change." Nexus 7 circuits pulsed as it processed this information. "That explains their focus on younger species. We represent a greater concentration of that potential energy." Amelia's mind raced. So they're not just destroyers. They're harvesters. As they approached the Sol system, the true scale of the threat became apparent. A massive Void Herald ship, if it could be called that, hung in space near Mars. It was like a hole in reality, a darkness deeper than the space around it, rimmed with crackling energy tendrils that reached out hungrily. The comm system crackled to life, and Admiral Zixtera's voice filled the bridge. "Thank the Cosmic Core you're here. We've managed to evacuate most of Mars. But Earth is their next target. We have less than 48 hours before they're in range to begin feeding." Amelia looked around at her crew, at the allies they had made among the stars. Humans, plants, and machines, all united against an unimaginable threat. "We need to pool all our knowledge, all our resources," she said, her voice steadied despite the fear threatening to overwhelm her. "The Federation's advanced tech, our human ingenuity, Florian bioengineering, and synthetic processing power. Together, we might just have a chance." What followed was a frenzy of activity unlike anything Amelia had ever experienced. Ideas were proposed, discarded, refined, and combined at a dizzying pace. Dr. Tanaka worked with synthetic engineers to devise a way to disrupt the Void Herald's energy matrix. Bloom Collective suggested using their knowledge of biofuels to create a sort of life energy chaff to confuse the enemy's senses. But it was Ivan Petrov, the diplomat, who provided the spark for their final plan. "We can't just fight them," he said during a particularly heated debate. "We need to communicate with them, understand them. Maybe we can offer an alternative to destruction." The idea was met with skepticism at first, but as they delved deeper into the ancient records, a pattern emerged. The Void Heralds hadn't always been destroyers. Eons ago, they had been creators, shapers of young worlds and species. With time running out and the Void Herald ship approaching Earth, a desperate plan was formed. Using a combination of synthetic quantum entanglement technology, Florian biofuels, and human communication protocols, they would attempt to make contact with the ancient beings. As the massive dark ship loomed ever closer to Earth, Amelia found herself at the heart of their hastily constructed communication array. She took a deep breath, feeling the weight of not just humanity, but all life in the galaxy on her shoulders. Initiating contact, Zara announced, her voice tense. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, suddenly, Amelia's mind was flooded with alien sensations: the birth of stars, the death of galaxies, the long, lonely eons drifting through the void. She gasped, overwhelmed by the sheer scale of the Void Herald's existence. But amidst the cosmic imagery, she sensed something else: a deep, profound loneliness, a yearning for connection. With every ounce of will she possessed, Amelia focused on projecting images of her own. The diversity of life on Earth, the beauty of cooperation between different species, the joy of creation and growth. You don't have to destroy to experience change, she thought, hoping the sentiment would translate across the vast gulf separating their species. Join us. Create with us. Grow with us. For what felt like an eternity, there was no response. The Void Herald ship continued its inexorable approach to Earth. Then, just as hope began to fade, the massive vessel stopped. Tendrils of dark energy reached out, not to destroy, but to connect. And in that moment, Amelia understood. The Void Heralds hadn't been awakened by chance. They had been drawn by the very trials the young races had been undergoing, tests that had caused ripples of change and growth throughout the galaxy. As the alien consciousness touched her mind again, Amelia felt a sense of wonder and curiosity that mirrored her own. The Void Heralds were intrigued by these young, dynamic species that faced cosmic challenges with such creativity and determination. The crisis wasn't over, far from it. But in that moment of connection, a new path forward was forged. The galaxy's oldest race and its youngest were about to embark on a journey of mutual discovery and creation. As the tension on the bridge slowly eased, Amelia looked around at her crew, human, Florian, and synthetic alike. They had faced the ultimate test not through force of arms, but through understanding and communication. The true challenge, she realized, was just beginning. But for the first time since learning of the Void Heralds, Amelia felt a spark of genuine hope for the future. Whatever lay ahead, they would face it together. A united galaxy, old and young, creator and created, bound by the limitless potential of cooperation and growth. Humanity's stand. The grand chamber of the Galactic Federation's central hub buzzed with an energy unlike anything in its long history. Representatives from thousands of species filled the vast space, their diverse forms a testament to the richness of life in the cosmos. At the center of it all stood Dr. Amelia Chen, flanked by Bloom Collective and Nexus 7, their unlikely alliance now a symbol of a new era in galactic politics. A year had passed since the Void Herald crisis, a year of monumental changes and paradigm shifts. The young races, humanity, the Florians, and the synthetics, had not only averted a catastrophe, but had also reshaped the very foundations of galactic society. Admiral Zix Terra, now serving as the Federation's interim leader, called for silence. Her 4 eyes swept across the assembly before settling on Amelia and her companions. "We stand at a crossroads," Zix Terra began, her voice carrying to every corner of the chamber. "For eons, we believed that age and accumulated knowledge were the pillars of wisdom. We tested young species, thinking we were preparing them for a predetermined role in our galactic order. But recent events have shown us the folly of our assumptions." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Many of the older races still struggled with the radical changes proposed in the wake of the Void Herald encounter. The humans, the Florians, and the synthetics have demonstrated that youth brings with it a unique perspective, an adaptability and creativity that we, in our long lives, had forgotten. Zix Terra continued. It was their combined efforts that not only saved us from destruction, but opened a new chapter in our history. Amelia felt a swell of pride, remembering the months of intense diplomacy and scientific collaboration that had followed their initial contact with the Void Heralds. The ancient beings, once seen as destroyers, were now partners in a grand experiment of galactic renewal. Zixtera gestured towards a shimmering portal at the far end of the chamber. For the first time in the Federation's history, we welcome representatives from the Void Heralds to our council. The assembly watched in awe as two figures emerged from the portal. They were vaguely humanoid in shape, their bodies composed of swirling dark energy contained within crystalline exoskeletons. The Void Heralds moved with a fluid grace that belied their immense age and power. One of the Void Heralds spoke, its voice resonating directly in the minds of all present. "We come not as conquerors, but as learners. For too long, we sought to consume the potential of younger races. Now we seek to nurture it, to grow alongside you all." Nexus 7's lights pulsed rapidly, its processors working overtime to analyze the implications of this unprecedented event. The introduction of Void Herald technology and knowledge will advance our collective capabilities by an estimated 724%, it announced. The potential for growth is exponential. Bloom Collective's petals quivered with excitement. And with their understanding of cosmic life cycles, we can restore worlds once thought lost, seed new life across the galaxy. Amelia stepped forward, feeling the weight of the moment. "But with this great power comes great responsibility," she said, her voice clear and strong. "We propose a new structure for the Federation, one that balances the wisdom of the old with the dynamism of the young." What followed was a presentation that left many in the assembly stunned. Humans, Florians, and synthetics had worked tirelessly to create a new model of galactic governance. It proposed integrated councils where elder races would work alongside younger species, combining their strengths. It suggested open exchanges of technology and culture, breaking down the barriers that had long kept younger races from advancing too quickly. "We stand for a galaxy where every voice is heard," Amelia declared, her passion evident in every word. "Where the youngest child and the oldest being can both contribute to our shared future. We propose not just cooperation, but true symbiosis between all sapient life." The chamber erupted into a cacophony of voices, appendages, and other forms of communication. Some elder races balked at the idea of ceding power, while others saw the wisdom in embracing change. As the debate raged, Amelia felt a gentle touch on her mind. One of the Void Heralds had approached her. "You have shown us a new path," it communicated. "In all our eons of existence, we never imagined a future like this. You have given us purpose again." Amelia smiled, still somewhat in awe of these ancient beings. "We all have something to learn from each other," she replied. "That's the beauty of it." The deliberations continued for days, but in the end, the proposal passed. The Galactic Federation would be reborn, transformed into a more dynamic, inclusive organization. Humanity, along with the Florians and synthetics, would play a central role in shaping this new galactic order. As the historic session came to a close, Amelia found herself standing with her allies, old and new, looking out at the star-filled vista beyond the station's crystal windows. "You know," she said, a hint of wonder in her voice, "when we first set out on this journey, all we wanted was to prove that humanity deserved a place among the stars. I never imagined we'd end up reshaping the galaxy itself." Bloom Collective's vines gently intertwined with Amelia's fingers in a gesture of affection. "Perhaps that is why you succeeded. You saw possibilities where others saw only challenges." Nexus 7's photoreceptors dimmed in what Amelia had learned was its equivalent of a contemplative expression. The human capacity for adaptation and innovation continues to exceed our predictive models. It is fascinating. One of the Void Heralds drifted over to join them. "In all our long existence, we had forgotten the joy of new experiences, the thrill of the unknown. You have reminded us of what it means to be truly alive." Amelia looked at her companions, a sentient plant, an artificial intelligence, and a being older than her entire civilization, and marveled at the unlikely bonds they had formed. "So," she said with a grin, "what's our next adventure?" As if in answer, a holographic display sprang to life before them, showing a region of uncharted space, teeming with unexplored worlds and unknown phenomena. "The galaxy is vast," Admiral Zixtera said, joining the group. "And now, thanks to you, we have a new perspective on exploring it, not as conquerors or mere observers, but as a united community of diverse beings, each with something unique to offer." Amelia felt a familiar thrill of excitement. The trials they had faced, the challenges they had overcome, they were just the beginning. A new chapter in galactic history was unfolding, and humanity was at the heart of it. "Well then," she said, her eyes sparkling with the reflection of distant stars, "shall we see what's out there?" As the unlikely group of friends and allies began to plan their next mission, Amelia couldn't help but reflect on how far they had come. Humanity had not only found its place among the stars, but had helped forge a new path for all sapient life in the galaxy. The question was no longer humans are how old, but rather, what wonders will we discover together? As the vastness of the cosmos stretched out before them, Amelia knew that the greatest adventures and the greatest challenges still lay ahead. But whatever the universe had in store, they would face it united, a symphony of diverse voices singing in harmony across the cosmic expanse. The end was just the beginning.